All right, fellas. So you went to Ames looking to pick up a win. You're going to leave Ames with a win, right? So they're not always easy. They're not always clean, but they all count just the same, right? So tremendous performance individually from both of you guys. Maybe Rondel, can you start us off? What do you feel like was really working well for you today?
I just feel like our overall team energy, we started off pretty slow, but, we picked it up in the end and we had depth. So once we made the switch and really we just turned the switch on ourselves, and it was all to us and we came through today.
MA, you're physically dominant today. I don't know what other way to say it, right? You feel like you've been building towards something like this. What was it like from your perspective?
For sure. Going in, we know they were short-handed. I knew they didn't have a lot of depth at that big spot, so I knew I was going to be you have to be aggressive on the offensive glass. And that was my mindset from the start, just crash the glass, because they didn't really have a lot of big guys down there. So that's what really helped me get off to a great start, and I just continued that throughout the game.
Strong close for the team as a whole. You feel like there wasn't a whole lot of big reactions. There wasn't a whole lot of chest bumping or anything. This kind of felt a little bit like a business-like performance. Was that a correct read? It just kind of felt that way towards the end. Rondel, what do you think?
I feel like it was definitely a business trip. We came here with one thing wanted us to win. That Baylor loss, just got to bounce back for that. And that's what us today. We couldn't go 2 in a row. So shout out to all the coaches and everybody else for giving us a great game plan and we just followed through tonight.
Members of the media, if you have questions for Oklahoma State's Rondel Walker or M.A. Moncrieffe, please click raise hand. We'll try and get to everybody. We just ask that you please address the question to whoever it is that you would want to answer it. Our first question is going to come from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry. Barry, let's try maybe one more time. Go ahead, Barry.
Okay. Hey, Rondel, you guys, you shot great tonight. Last I didn't see the final. You're up in the 60% range. But you had 24 turnovers. How do you explain such a good shooting night, but also so many carelessness mistakes with the ball?
I feel like today we came in with the game plan was to play fast and play smart, and I feel like we played 1 or 2. We didn't really play smart at times, and we kind of got loose with the ball. Instead of 24, there was about 20 of them unforced, so that's just something that's easy cleanup for us, and good thing we play hard enough to come with the win in the end.
Our next question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, Rondel, I know you missed Saturday's game with the arm injury. Can you kind of talk about what you were dealing with and how you felt tonight with the arm?
No, that's pretty much a team thing.
How'd you feel, though?
Felt good enough to play, so that's really all that matters today.
That's fair. For either one of you, on the turnover aspect of it, is that maybe a product trying to do a little bit too much, knowing how shorthanded they are and trying to be so aggressive?
Yeah, we try to play fast for sure. I feel like we got a little careless at times too today. We might have taken our foot off the gas pedal a little bit, just looking at their bench. We can't do stuff like that. But like you said, I think we played a little sped up at times, and that's what caused all those unforced turnovers.
And MA, kind of is something different for you than 2 double-doubles in a row? What's kind of clicked for you the last 2 games?
Just doing what my team needs me to do, really. Kay's not here. Dell was gone last game. We miss him. Everyone's bagged up real bad, so I just gotta step up. That was it. That's my mentality. Step up and attack the offensive glass.
And one more for you, MA, real quick. The way Caleb played tonight and the way even Bernard played tonight, what did you guys kind of discover maybe in the paint with you 3?
For sure. When teams are short-handed like this, we can get anything we want, really. We just got to be dominant down there. We got to finish. We got to score them. That was really the biggest thing. But for sure, like you guys can see it. When teams are small like that, we just got to play through our bigs and we'll be dominant.
Awesome. Thanks, fellas.
Our next question comes from Marshall Scott from Pistols Firing. Go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my mic's over here. Rondel, has that right corner always been your spot? I feel like you've made the majority of your 3-pointers this season from that right corner.
I I wouldn't say always. I used to couldn't be able to shoot the corner, to be honest. That was like my arch nemesis. But moving into college, that's really where, most of the shots I ended up being. So over time, I just had to really adapt to hitting that corner shot. And that's what my team needed me to do. So I got to just get more reps in the gym, and just the outcome it gets.
And then Avery, he had some nice isolation moves today. I'm sure that Rondel, you've had to guard him in practice. How tough of a guard is he?
In my opinion, he's the toughest to guard on the team one-on-one situation. Just is you said no? You say no?
He top 3.
With 3 dribbles?
He top 3.
In my opinion, 3 dribbles one-on-one, he's one of the toughest to guard in the squad. So yeah, I'm not just surprised with anything he does with the ball on the court. So anything he does is just a win play for us.
What makes him so difficult to guard?
I feel like with his handle, he can get anywhere he wants. And then on top of that, he has a great mirroring game. So he'll get to that a couple times, and after that, Hezlo's coming. So he keeps you guessing. So yeah.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Sure.
Our next question comes from Robert Allen from Triple Play Sports. Go ahead, Robert.
For you, I feel like you should.
Yeah, I'm going to ask this one to MA because you guys went so long without practicing and just had a couple of practices before Baylor, and then this game, you probably had no scouting report, or if you did, it probably wasn't very accurate because I don't think it came out till just before the game how many of their guys were missing. How are these games to prepare for during this COVID, especially the last couple, where it's really been kind of hard to prepare?
Well, that's one thing. We got the greatest coaches in the conference, I feel. So they're gonna prepare us regardless. Like you said, we had a short turnaround, but they prepared us. They prepared us well. I feel like we didn't, like you said, we didn't know who was playing. They were shorthanded. They came off their little COVID protocol, so we didn't really know what to expect from them. But I feel like our coaches prepared us enough to where we could play well tonight. So that's kudos to them.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
I know you guys have some weather here, so we're going to try and speed you along and get you out of here as quick as possible. So this will be the last question. It'll come from Barry Trammell, the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Matthew, you talked about you bigs playing together. It seemed like starting with the Baylor game that Boynton was playing a lot more 2 big guys together. And what you described about being, you sort of had Iowa State outmanned. You didn't have Baylor outmanned. What is it about, no matter what kind of team you're playing, Baylor or a team like Iowa State, that the 2 bigs together really seems to work?
Well, I mean, it's just I feel like it takes. So when I'm playing with KB or Burn, they gotta lock in because they're big bodies. So I feel like that gives me a chance to get to the offensive glass. I might have a smaller guy guarding me. So I just feel like either which way, it's going to be an advantage for me or it's going to be an advantage for either Burn or whoever.
All right, well, that'll do it for questions. Fellas, thank you so much. Congratulations on the win. Safe travels home.
Appreciate it. So your order, how it go?
So Cade.
Oh, he's not your top 2, but you're tripping. Cade.
Coach, good to see you.
Glad to be seen.
20-plus point road wins in Big 12 games don't really grow on trees. So congratulations on that. I mean, you're taking a young team on the road still. Do you feel like maybe in games that aren't quite as smooth or traditional, maybe in choppier games, this team is still doing things that it needs to do to succeed?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a few of these games as we've tried to build this program to the point of being really competitive in this league again. And we've been on the other side of some of these 20-point losses, unfortunately. But, tonight was an example of us, finding a way to do enough things to have success in still somewhat adverse situations, right? Still playing without Cade, Rondel back, but having not been able to practice much, but enough to be able to go out there and play. It's a strange season, to say the least, and I'm glad that our kids are going out there and competing at a high level. and learning one another and finding success.
You know, with Cade out, obviously that changes up some things that you would do with rotations, and you see different combinations out there for longer together. Are you finding something that you like here with this group?
Yeah, so Saturday, and I have to go back and look at the numbers. I just haven't really had time to analyze it with a quick turnaround. I'm not sure how many possessions before Saturday MA and Caleb had played together. And we've played them obviously a lot together the last 2 games, and they've both played pretty well and have obviously helped us, find some success in a loss against Baylor, but they both played well. And then tonight on the road and a win. So I think that's something that I'll dive deeper into here over the next couple of days to see how, once we start getting everybody kind of back into the fold, how much we can continue to rely on those guys, because they give us different, right? We talked about how good we could be playing 5 guards and maybe playing 4 guards in one of them, but playing 2 of them maybe gives us a different look that we can go to.
Well, very good. Members of the media, if you have a question for Oklahoma State head coach Mike Boynton, please click raise hand. We'll try and get to everybody. Our first question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Mike, along those lines of playing KB and MA together, what kind of pushed you to try that out? Was it the loss of Cade on Saturday? Was it just something you've been planning? What kind of led to that?
We had to kind of figure out how we're going to play the game Saturday. And obviously we didn't have a whole lot of options. So out of somewhat necessity, there's a quote out there, I'm going to butcher it, but creativity is born out of necessity sometimes, right? And you got to figure out how to survive. And surviving has shown us that maybe we don't have to play small all the time to be successful. And maybe we don't have to rely on our point guards to dominate the glass and post up all the time. But part of it is KB's playing better. And MA's, the game's slowing down for him. And he's being who we thought he could be in terms of being a force around the basket, getting to the glass. And so it's a great development for us and something that I look forward to us continuing to work on as we move forward.
You mentioned that Rondel's barely practiced. What did you expect out of him tonight?
Not much. And it's hard, right? With a quick turnaround, it's not like we went and practiced for 3 hours yesterday. So just hoping that he would provide some depth, another guy who could bring energy, some defensive presence. They got 2 really dynamic guards, and his defensive ability I thought could impact us. Certainly didn't expect him to go out there and score 20 points, but I was glad he did. And
I have to ask, kind of, what's the status on Cade moving forward?
It's still day to day. I think he feels better today. He did a little bit yesterday. He did a little bit more today. And we'll continue to monitor his progress as we go through the week. And, hopefully it continues to get better, and maybe we'll have a chance that he'll be closer to being game ready on Saturday.
Is there a physical issue there, or is it just getting him back in shape?
A physical issue of
just injury or illness or anything, or
he's not injured to my knowledge.
Yeah.
But being in physical conditioning is a physical thing as well. So right. I don't want to attribute it to an injury, but part of it is just getting back up to speed from a conditioning standpoint.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
And getting some reps in practice, which he still really hasn't done yet. So
right. You got plenty of time for Saturday, hopefully, right?
I hope so.
Thanks, Mike.
Our next question comes from Barry Trammell of the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Mike, so much of your offense was great tonight. You shot 59%. You also had 24 turnovers, and a lot of them were just silly. As a coach, how do you analyze a game like that where you guys had such stretches of good offense, but also just some maddening things?
Yeah, I'm always pretty honest. It's just immaturity, Barry. Part of my concern tonight was knowing that they were shorthanded, knowing that they haven't won a game in our league, knowing that there wasn't much of a crowd. There's not a whole lot of things to point to get your guys to understand we got to play at the same level of focus and energy that we played against Baylor on Saturday. And that's hard to do when you got basically one experienced guy who's been there before in ice. And so I knew it would be a struggle. I'm glad we survived the struggle and we put enough good possessions together at the end, stops wise and scoring to get some separation. But there's certainly something to look back on and say, hey, if we ever start this way or have this many turnovers against really anybody, I mean, we're going to have a hard time winning. And that's going to be true moving forward against everybody we play.
It's sort of interesting. You're playing two bigs together a lot more these two games. You're missing Cade, and yet you really didn't use likely a ton initiating the offense and running the point. What's the mindset behind that?
I was just trying to find a consistent rhythm offensively. We had him initiate a few things in ball screens, but what we need when ice is being effective is for him to be aggressive in transition. And then we talked about if we don't have something in transition, we wanted to try to establish MA and Caleb inside. And as you can see, we drew a couple of fouls even trying to throw it in there and had a couple of turnovers trying to feed those guys. But that was more just a game plan approach in terms of trying to establish our inside. We knew they were pretty thin up front and tried to take advantage.
Our next question comes from Robert Allen from Triple Play Sports. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, Coach, I don't know if I'm going to help you at all here or not, but on Cade and what Jacob asked, how much of this is maybe protocols and testing, after you're coming back, so to speak, or is he clear of all that now?
Well, again, that's a great question, and I got to be careful how much personal, right?
I know,
but there is a process. There's a plan for how you get back onto the court, and we're following that plan. And obviously, with the profile he has, we certainly aren't going to skip steps and put him at any risk. We're going to make sure that we protect him as well as put the rest of the guys in position to have success. I mean, we've talked about it. Kay's a great player. But we haven't built this thing to be just about him. I expect those other guys, when Kay's in foul trouble or sick or injured, to be able to go out and help us. So we don't make any excuses about it. Baylor beat us on Saturday. We came in here and found a way to win without them. And I think it's something that as we move forward, not just this year, but with our program, I mean, pretty safe to say when we play our last game this year that he won't be back. And we need those other guys to understand that they have to be ready to step up to the plate. So yes, part of it is him getting back, going through the protocols, and he's making progress. He was able to get on the court just for those warm-ups Saturday. He was able to do a little bit of shooting yesterday. He did a little bit more today at our shoot around. And, I think we're going to be off from practice tomorrow because we have to be. And so we'll start evaluating again on Wednesday where his progress is as we head into the weekend.
Barry asked about the offense and the mixed bag of having red hot shooting and some of the maddening turnovers. I asked the kids about this, and they complimented you and the staff about getting them ready. How hard is it in some of these COVID situations when you don't know who's going to play for a team and they haven't played for almost 2 weeks to put a scout together?
Yeah, this is probably the least prepared I've ever felt for a team in my coaching career. I didn't know who they would have. I didn't know how they would try to play. And you assume if they're low in numbers that you got to be prepared for some zone to look at, even though that's not really what they do, but just kind of trying to protect themselves and get through the game. We've been there. And you just got to do what you got to do this year. But the credit goes to the kids. They play with great energy. Rondel was terrific off the bench and brought us a spark. And then MA and Caleb really dominated inside.
Thanks, Coach. Be careful coming home.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Marshall Scott from Pistols Firing. Go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah, Mike, whenever you were down to 7 scholarship guys that 1 year, you made a point of it to say, these guys aren't going to feel sorry for us. Is that kind of how you felt on the other side of it today with how kind of frantic the beginning of that game was?
I don't know if we played like that to start the game. I tried to send that message. I'm not sure how well it was received. But again, we also were playing in a second game of basically 2 and 3 days. We kind of lose some of that stuff when you win. Why didn't you win better, right? But we did play Saturday, Monday, and a quick turnaround is always challenging for us. So I was glad that we figured out a way. It was a tough way to lose Saturday, and to come back here, travel up here, get out of your routine, and find a way to win in pretty convincing fashion. almost going away in conference play on the road. Never something to apologize for.
Then we talk about, using two posts at the same time. MA, he probably projects long-term more as a 4. Is that where you see him within your program long-term? Do you hope to, obviously Caleb keep playing well and maybe get another center in here for after Caleb's gone?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really talk about numbers as much. You're either kind of inside or you're on the perimeter. MA's got the ability to do both for us. Doesn't shoot it from the outside as well, but very good driving, especially against bigger guys. So in a normal sense, yes. As a 4, if you just want to talk traditional, yes, that's probably where he projects best. Draymond Green type skill set, terrific length and presence around the basket, can rebound and push. He's going to continue to develop as a passer as we get into there. He initiated the offense a little bit today again, and I think that's something that we can look forward to as well, because teams don't necessarily pressure from that position, and he can take some pressure off of our other guards from initiating offense and putting those guys in position to get open shots. We're always going to try to recruit size and rim protection as every year. Point guards and rim protectors are like, you can't have enough of them.
And then Farron, he traveled with you guys. That's obviously probably a good sign. About where is he in his process?
He's probably still, I think he's got another evaluation on Wednesday. His evaluation last Wednesday was good. He got the cast off, but they want to continue week to week and see where he is. So only thing we're really doing right now is trying to keep his conditioning up to speed and at least getting him some visual reps in practice so he can stay sharp on our schemes. But he's still not doing a whole lot of contact stuff in practice.
Thanks, Mike.
And our final question is going to come from Jacob Unruh of the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Mike, you've talked extensively about MA and Caleb tonight, but what about Kuma and the job he's done of late for you?
I mean, I said it a number of times. He's as good a teammate as I've ever been around in terms of always doing what he does. He never does anything outside of what we need him to do. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't make mistakes, right? He drops balls sometimes. He's out of position defensively. But when you ask him to do something, he does it, and he does it with everything he has. Never complains. He's very coachable. He's a tremendous teammate. He's a reason a lot of times that other guys get shots, either because he screens or because he just simply runs the floor as hard as he can. So he's getting better. It's another element for us in terms of depth inside, giving us a little bit of a different body type in there. And so I'm pleased with his progress. And today he got him another little basket in there, 4 rebounds, which is probably a career high because, he's got to get the ones that come straight to him. He's not an outside of his area rebounder. It's not his strength. I'm not telling any secrets here, but we certainly love having him around, and he's been a pleasure to coach.
He's played, 11 minutes, I think, on Saturday and 16 tonight. Do you kind of feel like that's a trend forward for him, or is it matchup?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there were some games he didn't get in at all. And part of it is his conditioning has gotten better. His stamina's continue to improve. And we're pushing him a little bit more in practice to push through those moments of fatigue. A lot of the credit goes to him. When I recruited him, I think it was early in the summer or late in the spring, I told him, because he was probably about 40 more pounds heavier than he is now. Like you'll never get on the court until we address your body. And he made a commitment to it. Him and our strength coach, Jake Manzelman, and shout out to Jenny Boynton for getting him some good dietary tips. You guys make sure that one gets quoted on Twitter, all right? My wife gets credit for Bernie Kuma getting in shape to be able to play 16 minutes for us.
Fair enough. I'll do that. I'll pass word. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
That may be my favorite comment of the whole season right there. But Coach, that'll do it for questions. But before we let you go, is there anything maybe that we missed or anything that's important to you that you wanted to say while we got everybody here?
Yeah, the only thing, and I've mentioned this to our team, very, very important weekend coming up in Stillwater. We'll remember the 10 on Saturday, the anniversary of the plane crash, a devastating moment in 2001. And so as many people as we can have in there, come by. But if you can't, send your well wishes to those families. We're always thinking about them. I think it's a little bit fitting that this is the year that Coach Sutton went into the Hall of Fame, and we're going to be playing the other university that he coached that's in this challenge. And so it's a great opportunity to honor those people who he led through a really difficult time, and obviously to remember him as well. So remember the 10's coming up Saturday.
Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate you as always. We appreciate your insight. Safe travels home. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Members of the media, thank you as well. We are very appreciative of you. Everyone take good care.